The leader who refuses to die. Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Traoré isn't just a man. He's the symbol of a system they can no longer control. Europe's panic reveals a hard truth. Africa's resources subsidize European wealth. Traoré rise threatens a 150-year-old extraction model. Traoré represents a generational shift. Leaders who weaponize anti-colonial rage and have the military, diplomatic tools to back it. The West's threats reveal desperation. They've lost the narrative, the resources, and the moral high ground. Why Traoré is a unique threat to the West. At 36, he's young, charismatic, and channels Sankara's revolutionary legitimacy. Unlike older elites Europe could bribe. Expelling French troops, ending colonial mining deals, and creating the AES alliance can't be undone by regime change. His public approval in Burkina Faso exceeds 80%. Assassination would martyr him, and ignite region-wide uprisings. Europe's weakness exposed. Sanctions failed. When France, EU sanctioned Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, the AES bloc responded by quitting ECOWAS and deepening Russia, Iran, Turkey and China ties. No military options, direct intervention is impossible. Russia's Wagner, Russian army in Mali, now Africa Corps, shields Traoré, and African populations would revolt. Diplomatic isolation, African Union refuses to condemn Traoré. Global South nations, BRICS+, openly support his anti-imperialist stance. What's next? Europe's desperate moves. Proxy wars, funding jihadist groups, heavily. Leaked Burkina intel shows French bribes to militants to destabilize Traoré. Economic sabotage. Freezing AES assets, blocking food, medicine imports to incite unrest. Coup engineering. Recruiting disgruntled officers, attempted in Niger, September 2023. Smear campaigns. Accusing Traoré of war crimes via ICC, Western NGOs to justify intervention. Spreading lies. Media manipulations, spreading lies, using black against black, propaganda and false narratives. Western threats. From covert ops to open calls for violence. European officials and media now use dangerously escalatory language. French MP Meir Habib said in 2023, Traoré will end like Sankara, referencing Burkina Faso's murdered revolutionary hero. EU official, Anonymous, said in 2024, will make Burkina Faso ungovernable, by sanctions and starvations. Le Monde calls Traoré a Putin's jihadist, BBC frames him as warlord starving his people. French intel documents in 2023 discussed neutralizing Sahel leaders via proxy militias. While Western threats are real, their bluster masks strategic weakness. The more they escalate, the faster Africa unites against them. Traoré's survival depends on three shields: African popular support, Russian air defense systems, and the global momentum of decolonization. This is why for now the West blusters but hesitates. The West's history of eliminating defiant African leaders. From Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, Muammar Gaddafi, shows a clear pattern. The West has a long history of plane crashes and poison. Remember Samora Machel? His plane accidentally hit a mountain. But Traoré operates in a new era, where Western power is declining, and African agency is rising. Traoré is more than just a man. He is the voice of a new Africa. An Africa that refuses to kneel. An Africa that remembers Lumumba, Sankara, Gaddafi, Cabral. Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso, 1987. Why he was removed. Sankara nationalized land, minerals, rejected IMF loans, vaccinated 2.5 million kids, and challenged France's CFA franc. Patrice Lumumba, Congo, 1961. Why he was removed? Lumumba demanded Congo's mineral wealth, uranium, cobalt, benefit Congolese. He turned to the USSR when Belgium, US refused aid. Muammar Gaddafi, Libya, 2011. Why he was removed? Gaddafi planned a gold-backed African currency to replace the CFA franc, USD, threatening French/US financial dominance. Western threats prove Traoré point. Every assassination hint, sanction, and racist narratives. Validates his critique of neocolonialism. When you stop feeding the vampire, it screams and threatens to kill you. But the vampire cannot survive without your blood. Traoré mentioned in the Address to the Nation, June 2024. Traoré countermeasures. He removed Compare and French loyalists from the army, personally controls elite units, RSP, and uses Wagner bodyguards, Russian commandos. His public rallies make him, disappearing, becomes a hard target for snipers. He expelled UN, French forces. Relies on Russian air defense and Iranian, Turkish drones. The AES alliance provides mutual protection. AES has modern Russian anti-air systems, Pantsir S-1. African Union now refuses to endorse Western interventions. 80% plus popular support, youth ready to revolt if harmed. Social media armies, hashtag Traoré challenge trends globally, recent protests in support of Traoré in the West. Assassinating Traoré is possible, but the cost would be catastrophic for Europe. It could trigger total expulsion of French troops from Africa. AES seizing all Western mining assets. AES is turning into a strong military unit. Africa joining BRICS as a unified bloc. Any move will harm France more than it can imagine. Brothers and sisters. This is not just Traoré's story. It is ours. We are trying to tell them for centuries that we are also humans. The story of a continent that has suffered too long. The story of a people who refuse to be slaves anymore. Traoré is not perfect. He is human. He has flaws, but his strength is that he is not alone. He carries the dreams of millions. He carries the blood of Sankara. The tears of Lumumba's mother. The prayers of Gaddafi's daughters. And the anger of every African who has ever watched their leaders fall. We must remember. The West's history in Africa is clear. They have neutralized. They have bribed. They have stolen. But now, the ground is shifting. Africa is rising. Our voices are loud. We just need complete freedom. We don't need any revenge. Our eyes are open. Our leaders are learning. We will not be silent. We will not kneel. We will not die easy. Traoré's fight is our fight. His survival is our survival. His success will be the success of every African who dares to believe in freedom. So let them try, let them threaten, let them send their spies and drones. Let them plan their plane crashes, let them cut off our bread. But let them know. This time, Africa is ready that we are Sankara's children. Lumumba's sons. Gaddafi's daughters. We are Traoré's army. And we will not be defeated. Africa is ready, Africa will rise.